Try it yourself, handling login request successes and failures. In this try it yourself exercise, you get a chance to implement the done, fail, and always AJAX event handlers on a basic jQuery GET request. The resulting web page is a simple login that sends the username and password to a server-side PHP script and checks for username equals user and password equals password. If the correct username and password are entered, the request succeeds. Otherwise, the request fails. The purpose of this exercise is to apply AJAX handlers in a practical context. You can find the solution files in the book's Code Listings archive in the Hour 15 folder. The operative file name here is Hour 1502. A couple hints. As I stated in the previous Try It Yourself exercise, we'll be making use of PHP, so make sure that your development environment supports PHP, which of course XAMPP does. Also, as a reminder, remember in your Hour 15 folder, in order for the paths to resolve correctly, you'll need CSS, data, JS, and PHP subfolders. And finally, you might have noticed that when you use the Run button, Aptana Studio tends to bypass XAMPP and use its built-in internal web server. You can override that behavior in a number of different ways. My preferred method is to right-click your project folder and select Properties from the shortcut menu. There, in the Properties sheet, navigate to Preview Settings, and you can actually create a new, simple web server, and then just simply specify localhost as your base URL, and then the path in your XAMPP folder, htdocs code is what I use, to create a run configuration. Alternatively, of course, you can force the project to open in your development environment by using a path, a URL path, which is what I'll do right now. Localhost code hour 15, hour 1502.html. And this project presents us with a simple login dialog. As long as we present the correct credentials, username of user and a password of password, we'll receive login succeeded. If we type invalid credentials, we'll see a overlay box that tells us so. In this exercise, the HTML and CSS code just define the basic login dialog. Let's navigate to the JavaScript file and take a look at it. In the ready function, we see a click handler to the input button. That's lines 9 through 11. Then starting on line 4, we have a login click handler that will be called when the user clicks the login button. The handler makes an AJAX GET request to the Hour 15 PHP login.php file that should already be in place if you've copied from the book's source code. Notice that the data from the login form is serialized using serialize to create the query string. Also notice that done, fail, and always are attached to the GET request to handle the AJAX completion events. In lines 1, 3, and 4, we have 3 AJAX event handlers to handle completion, failure, and successful login attempts respectively.